am a monkey and his sweetheart up in that tree is spooning.
Is that so? What did he say to her?
Oh, he says, does you love me?
Oh, well, what did she say?
Why, she says I was not prepared to answer.
They're talking again. What did he say then?
Why, he says, will you marry me?
Well, did she say yes?
No, she said, you'll have to ask my papa's consent.
Oh, my goodness, what was that?
Why, that was her papa.
And that's her papa? What's the matter? Am he mad?
No. He was only just giving them his blessing.
Well, I do hope he'll overlook us.
I hope so too, gal. Moonlight in jungle land, moonlight and love. In the jungle played each monkey made his somebody special love. Lovely Miss Kangaroo, from the sand, with a chimpanzee hurricane in the sea, with moonlight in jungle land.
Hello, I'm Bill Doggett. I'm a California-based archivist and exhibitions curator. I'm also a member of the important Association for Recorded Sound Collections. I'm an archivist specialized in the documentation of African American voices in early sound recordings. I have hundreds of them from the turn of the century, as in 1900, 1901, 2, 3, 4, all the way forward to the 1940s. In addition, I have a wonderful and important collection of antiquarian sheet music, ephemera, and other music score related materials, all of which document the rich and important history of African Americans in the performing arts, but in more important ways, the history of race consciousness, and race relations as defined by not only these items, but defined by the culture of American popular entertainment in the late 18th century and in the 19th century. By way of the short video, I wanted to introduce you to my archive and to my provocative multimedia presentations. Additionally, by this short video, I'd like to bring to fore the possibility of a richer, longer exploration by the means of a full semester course. On Broadway today, there is great excitement. There is a revival and a re-imaging of the landmark 1921 all-black cast musical called Shuffle Along. Shuffle Along, both in 1921 and in 2016, is really important to look at and to reimagine the understanding of the critical issues that are embedded in it, such as race consciousness and race relations, and the understanding and the perception and the manifestation of what it is and was to be African American in American theater and in popular American entertainment of the time. I, like Shuffle Along's producer and artistic director George C. Wolfe, both African American males, believe that it's very important that we, African American scholars and educators and historians, advance the conversation forward and lead the conversation around issues that are important and historical as races, that are historical yesterday and are even more relevant, of course, today in 2016. Let's take a look at one of my archival pieces from 1906 at Early Victor Recording of a song by Bob Cole of Cole and Johnson, a very famous and very successful African American vaudeville team. The song is called Sambo and Dinah.
of Sambo, the lad who plays the banjo and sings sweet songs to his dusty lady love.
You've heard also of Dinah, the gal from Carolina, with pearly teeth and eyes just like the stars of
Suppose you could be listening while Dinah's eyes are glistening, and Mr. Sambo drums his banjo while he tries to woo.
They'll love you till and stammer without an infected grammar.
For this is how these dusty lovers still and cool.
This is how they just get up and stare at you.
Sambo says to Dinah, do you love me?
Dinah says to Sambo, gee-do-do.
Sambo says to Dinah, gal, I want you.
Dinah says to Sambo, I want you too.
Sambo says I'm a feeling kind of lonely.
And then I'm going to stop it. So we just finished listening to Sambo and Dinah by Bob Cole. It's one of many successful songs by Bob Cole and his writing partner and team member, J. Rosamond Johnson of Cole and Johnson. In my hand is yet another very popular song of Bob Cole and J. Rosamond Johnson from their hugely successful 1907 show, The Shoofly Regiment. This is Who Do You Love? In this recording, it's done by Collins and Harlan, perhaps the most successful and famous white vaudeville team to author the music of not only Bob Cole and Rosamond Johnson, but other songs, all songs that are about an imitation of life. That is to say, a mockery, if you will, of what a black comedy situation or a cultural situation would be about. Collins and Harlan, more than any other white vaudeville team, authored an imitation of black sound and black voicing to such an extent that they were thought of as actually being African American. But of course they were not. Yet there is this imitation of life, this foundation, this paradigm of a mockery of African and African American culture through voicing, exaggerated voicing and buffoonery on stage and in early recorded sound, that is at the foundation of the minstrel show, and in particular at the foundation of the recording of the minstrel show experience in early sound. In our next sample, we'll listen to one of those imitation of life skit songs. It's called The Kickapoo Queen. It's sung by Arthur Collins and is about an imaginary skit, an imaginary show in the deepest, darkest jungles of Africa, or dark Africa, where a Zulu king, if you will, is indecisive about who to marry. It's called My Kickapoo Queen. Let us listen.
By Mr. Collins. Bungalow came here to be a slave, shanghaied by a wild Yankee crew. Lord, how that man did rave. By all the yellow went to sight with his hand. Why he would not marry, they could never understand. Big chief, noble birth, didn't want to marry every gal on earth. So at last he held in accents grand. In Zululand, there's a kickapoo lady in a castle grand, full of foliage green. I won her hand. Keep a tip in your feet, all understand. The kickapoo queen.
And as it relates to theater collectibles and antiquarian property that I have in my archive, here is one very special item. This is the 1906 and 1907 showcase of Hammerstein's Theater Varieties. In this unseeming book that is rich with playbills that were just meticulously collected, here is an amazing document of the world of African American performers at the turn of the century. Here, in this series of variety shows, are the young Bob Cole, the young J. Rosamond Johnson, the young George Walker, and Bert Williams. In particular, the very famous show in Dahomey is here in this wonderful scrapbook. I invite you to consider having me show you gems from this scrapbook, which can be and are part of the multimedia presentations that I offer.
Some time ago, they were hanging a colored fellow legally in a small Georgia county seat. It was a public hanging. They had the